Well, kind of a complex situation as we talked about yesterday, but when you take a look at the satellite picture, everything's on the field. AccuWeather.com meteorologist Bernie Rayno. I'm going to give you some idea about the snow accumulations with the first wave that is coming out. I am going to have a snowfall accumulation map this afternoon, early afternoon. And, I get nervous issuing these things 3 days in advance, but we're going to take a shot at it. All right, here we go. Let's go over the ingredients as we've been doing. First of all, we have the Arctic intrusion coming in. That's ingredient number 1. Ingredient number 2, this system. Now, this is the wild card in the whole thing, because what this is going to do, it's going to steer our third ingredient, which is now in the southwest. That's going to bring it northward. That's our initial band of snow that we talked about yesterday. But this piece then has to be dealt with in the back of our first storm. I'll explain in a second. All right, so let's get right to I'm going to do a close-up here of what's going to look like Saturday morning. Here's the injection. Here's our system that came into the northwest. It'll be across the Intermountain West. Here's our southwest system. And the first thing that will happen is behind this, what comes in? An intrusion of Arctic air. Here we go. This is what the surface map looks like Sunday. By now, this system in here has pushed on through. That brings the Arctic injection, so that's where you look for your initial band of snow, or that's where you look up for the setup, back in here, right along the edges of the Arctic air, because you've already got, with the west-southwest flow, you're bringing in warmer air, you're colliding it with the colder air, and this is your pathway for moisture. So that's why we always have this threat up in this zone, just because of the Arctic air. Now you have to kind of figure it out, depending on what the upper air looks like. So again, here's this system. Let's zoom out a little bit. Saturday morning, Sunday morning. See, what happens is this upper level system lifts to the north and east. That brings in the high pressure. That's what starts the whole process. Now, you'll also notice that here's our southwest system Saturday morning. Here's Sunday morning, and then it moves to the north and east. You see that? This is Saturday. This is Sunday, this is Monday. So there's your initial piece coming through. And that's what's going to give you your first shot of snow. Again, this is Saturday. Sunday, we'll zoom in. Here's that piece coming through. And then by Sunday, it's pushing somewhere here in the mid-Atlantic. Now, there's a tremendous overrunning surface with this. So, the thing I'm worried about, I talked about this yesterday, is how strong is this piece really going to be? I'm not sure. However, with an Arctic air mass in place and moisture coming in from the west-southwest, that's what's going to give you your initial band of snow. So that wave is right in here. This is Monday morning, so it has already pushed across the mid-Atlantic. Now, right now, it appears to me this first wave is going to be able to produce a 3 to 6 band of snow. I suspect that is going to be along the Mason-Dixon line. Hagerstown, Martinsburg, north of Baltimore, Washington, towards central and southern New Jersey, maybe New York City, that there can be a 3 to 6 band of snow here. I'm not 100% sure, but that's my initial thought. I do think you're going to get, D.C. could be in that as well. So this first band looks like a Mason-Dixon, central and southern New Jersey, perhaps up to New York City. But what you have to then keep an eye on is once this wave leaves, there's additional energy. Let's go back to the Monday morning. See, here's your first wave leaving, but you have problems behind this because you have this other piece of energy. Now, the models have no clue what to do with this. The NAM is another model we look at is just worthless. I wouldn't even look at it right now. It's all over the place. But yesterday, the models were cutting this off, that this energy is dropping into it, it cuts it off, and then we have to look for Tuesday night into Wednesday, wherever the system is. Now the models are saying, no, they're not, it's just a whole piece coming through. I'm not sure yet. But one thing I am concerned about, I do believe there are 2 shots of snow coming. The first is that system from the southwest. The second is this energy in some form. I'm not sure yet. But what I'm worried about is I want you to keep your eye on this. That's Sunday. That's Monday. This is Saturday. Sunday. Now, This is concerning. Let's zoom in because the upper low is way up here now. So what happens is, look at all this west-southwest flow. So you still have this energy. This tells me that this next piece, unless this whole area comes in, locks off a low, you have another piece of energy to contend with here. As you get in the Monday afternoon and Monday night, and with this locked way up in here, that's room for this to come northward. That's why I still like this storm threat. Because first you have the initial band coming in from New York City, Philadelphia, up to the P8 Turnpike toward Harrisburg, maybe State College. You have this initial band. But then you've got this other piece of energy coming in that can then hit the Midwest and then take the next band a little farther north, if that makes any sense at all. But there are two shots of snow. The first hits the Mason-Dixon line. Then I'm not sure about the second. But I am concerned you have something else coming across the Midwest Monday that can hit probably south of Chicago. I'm not sure. Interstate 70, Peoria, Springfield, Indianapolis, across Ohio. And then I'm afraid with the west-southwest flow, because of this gone, that this energy can take another band of snow a little farther north and right up into New England. This first piece could just graze southern New England, but then the second piece could hit them. So that's why it's a very complex situation. That's why I'm not issuing a snow map until early this afternoon. But I think the first threat is on for the Mason-Dixon line, including Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia, New York City. Then you have the second piece, again, Monday. Look at this. The big vortex is lifting north. You have all this west-southwest flow. At the surface, you still have high pressure to overrun. There is room for another piece to come north. Let's see if it happens. Questions, you can follow me and ask me them on Twitter at AccuRayno.